There are moments in life when our hearts feel tired, when the noise of the world grows louder than the whisper of hope, and the weight of our burdens feels too heavy to carry alone. We may smile on the outside, but inside, we ache for peace. A peace that can quiet our worries, calm our fears, and remind us that we are not forgotten. In those moments, the Blessed Mother gently reaches out to us. Like a tender mother who bends down to comfort her child, Mary draws near with quiet strength and compassion. She does not come with judgment or reproach. She comes with love, pure, steadfast, and full of mercy. Her arms are open, ready to gather us in, to lead us to the one who is peace himself, her Son, Jesus. To find peace in Mary's loving arms is not to escape the struggles of life, but to find rest within them. It is to know that even when the storms of life rage, we are held. It is to trust that her intercession never ceases, and that through her prayers, we can draw closer to God's heart. In this time together, we will reflect, pray, and rest in that love. We will let our souls breathe again, knowing that Mary, our gentle mother, sees us, understands us, and carries our needs to heaven. So wherever you are right now, whether sitting in a quiet room, driving home after a long day, or listening through tears, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Let go of the noise. Let your heart be still. You are not alone. Mary is near, and through her, peace is waiting to find you. Let us begin this prayerful journey together, finding peace in Mary's loving arms. There comes a time when even the strongest hearts grow tired. We try to stay hopeful, to smile through the pain, to keep believing that everything will be okay. But sometimes the weariness runs deeper than words can describe. It's not just in the body, it settles in the soul. You might wake up and feel that quiet heaviness pressing down on you again. Or maybe it's the loneliness that lingers when the day is done, when the noise fades and the silence feels too loud. In those moments, heaven doesn't feel far away, it feels quiet. And our prayers? Sometimes they feel unanswered. But that is when Mary's gentle presence begins to whisper. When your heart feels weary, she is near. Mary understands the ache of human sorrow. She knows what it feels like to watch a loved one suffer, to walk in uncertainty, to face the unknown with trembling hands. At the foot of the cross she stood, silent, steadfast, full of pain, yet full of trust. And it is that same heart, pierced but faithful, that welcomes you now. When you turn to her in prayer, even in the smallest whisper, "Mary, help me," she hears. She listens not only to your words, but to the tears you cannot speak. She gathers them like precious drops of offering and brings them before her Son. In her presence, you don't have to pretend to be strong. You don't need the perfect words. You only need to come. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine Mary beside you. Her face serene, her hands extended, her eyes filled with compassion. She is not far away in some unreachable heaven. She is a mother who walks with you in your daily struggles, who holds you when the world feels cold. There's a reason so many of the faithful call her Our Lady of Comfort, because through her, God's tenderness becomes visible. When your spirit is crushed, she reminds you that grace still surrounds you. When your hope fades, she whispers that God is not done with your story yet. When your prayers feel empty, she prays for you. So breathe deeply now. Let the tension begin to ease from your shoulders. Let the rush of thoughts slow down. Say softly in your heart, "Mary, Mother of Mercy, be near to me now. Wrap me in your loving arms and quiet my restless heart."
help me to feel the peace of your presence. Lead me closer to your Son, who is my refuge and my rest. Stay there for a moment, in silence and stillness. Feel that peace begin to flow, even if just a little. It is the peace that comes when love meets pain, when heaven leans close to earth. Mary's presence is not a substitute for God's comfort. It is the pathway to it. She leads us always toward Jesus, the one who gives true rest to the weary. She reminds us that we do not walk through the valley alone, that the light of her Son still shines, even in our darkest night. And maybe that's what we need to remember most when our hearts are weary, that there is a mother who never stops interceding, never stops loving, never stops drawing us closer to divine mercy. So tonight, if you find yourself tired from carrying too much, remember this: Mary is not asking you to be strong. She is asking you to rest, to let her hold the pieces of your heart that feel too fragile to carry, to trust that her prayers are already lifting you before God's throne. There, in the quiet of her presence, peace begins to return. Not the kind the world gives, but the peace of being seen, understood, and loved. There is a quiet kind of peace that prayer brings, one that doesn't always change our circumstances, but changes us within them. Prayer doesn't erase the storms, but it gives us a safe harbor. It's the moment when, if just for a few breaths, the weight on your heart feels lighter, and the world feels less heavy.
When we pray with Mary, that peace takes on a deeper meaning. Because Mary does not simply receive our prayers, she walks with us through them. She knows how to hold silence, how to listen, how to wait. Her own life was shaped by prayer, from her yes to the angel in Nazareth, to her quiet strength at Calvary, to her joyful praise in the Magnificat. Every word, every breath of hers was a prayer that drew her closer to the heart of God. When we invite her into our own prayers, she teaches us to pray not with fear, but with trust, not with hurry, but with surrender, not just to speak, but to listen. Sometimes we think prayer must be perfect, poetic, or long, but Mary reminds us that the holiest prayers are often the simplest ones. Lord, help me. Mary, stay with me. Jesus, I trust you. Each of these quiet prayers becomes like a small candle burning in the darkness, and Mary, the Mother of Light, carries those candles to her Son, multiplying their glow with her own intercession. When you pray with her, imagine her walking beside you, guiding you gently toward Jesus. She doesn't take his place, she leads you to him, always. Her mission is to draw your heart to the one who can truly heal it. She might whisper to you in your spirit, "Do whatever he tells you." Those are her words at the wedding feast in Cana, the same words she speaks to us today. Through prayer, she helps us to recognize Jesus at work in our lives, even in the smallest things. If you are praying for peace right now, start there, with openness. Tell her what troubles you. Tell her where you've lost your joy or where fear has settled in. And then let her carry your prayer to Jesus. Maybe your words will come slowly, maybe through tears. That's all right. Mary understands every language of the heart. She knows how to hold pain and turn it into prayer. Close your eyes and picture yourself placing your burdens into her hands. Each worry, each fear, each prayer you've been too tired to say, place it there. See her lift them gently and offer them to her Son, saying, "This is yours, my Jesus. Hold them close." This is the peace that comes through prayer, not because everything is fixed, but because you are no longer carrying it alone. Prayer is the bridge that connects your heart to heaven, and Mary walks with you. That same faith carried her through every season: the joy of Bethlehem, the flight into Egypt, the years of quiet in Nazareth, and finally the agony of Calvary. Her whole life was one long yes to God, repeated in both sunlight and storm. When we walk through our own storms, we can draw strength from her example. Mary shows us that faith doesn't mean we'll never feel afraid. It means that even when the wind howls, we choose to keep our eyes on God. Faith doesn't always calm the storm outside, but it always brings peace to the storm within. In the middle of your struggle, Mary stands beside you as a mother who knows what it means to trust in the dark. She doesn't offer shallow comfort or quick fixes. She simply holds you with the same strength that held her at the cross. When you feel like your faith is slipping, picture her hand reaching for yours. Her touch is steady, not because she never suffered, but because she did, and she found God faithful through it all. Take a deep breath now. Let these words be your prayer. Mary, Mother of Faith, when the storm rages around me, help me to stand firm as you did. Teach me to trust God when I cannot see the way. Lend me your courage, your patience, your peace. It's okay if your faith feels small. Mary understands. She takes your trembling hand and places it in the strong hand of her Son. And there, between her love and his mercy, your faith finds room to grow again. Remember, storms don't last forever. But even while they last, grace is present. Mary's faith reminds us that God is working behind the scenes, even when the sky looks dark. Her life proves that no storm is wasted when it draws us closer to the heart of Christ. Sometimes faith means waiting, believing that dawn will come even when the night is long. Sometimes faith means surrender, laying down your fears and saying, "Lord, I don't understand, but I trust you." And sometimes faith means simply holding on, refusing to let go of hope even when your heart is tired. Mary walks with you through every kind of faith. She is with you in the trembling and the trusting, in the questions and the quiet. Her presence is the reminder that God never leaves his children alone in the storm. So when you feel the winds of fear rising again, whisper her name. Mary, stay with me. And in that whisper, you'll find strength. Not your own, but hers. And beyond that, the strength of the one she always leads you to, Jesus, the Prince of Peace. The storm may not end immediately, but your heart will begin to rest. You'll find yourself breathing again, believing again, hoping again. Because faith doesn't always change what happens around you, it changes what happens within you. That's what Mary teaches us, to walk through the storms of life with eyes fixed on heaven, with hearts anchored in trust, and with souls that refuse to let fear have the final word. And one day when the clouds part and the sun returns, you'll realize you were never walking alone. Mary was there, whispering peace into your storm, leading you gently, faithfully, toward the calm of God's love. Peace is not just a moment, it's a way of living. It's not found only in quiet chapels or in moments of answered prayer, but in the small, ordinary rhythms of each day. True peace is learning to carry the presence of God within your heart wherever you go, to let his calm fill your mind, even when life remains uncertain. Mary shows us how to live that kind of peace. Her life was never free from hardship. She knew poverty, exile, misunderstanding, and loss. Yet through it all, her soul remained anchored in peace, because her trust was anchored in God. The same peace that filled her heart at the Annunciation stayed with her at the foot of the cross. It was not a peace that ignored pain. It was a peace that came from surrendering everything to the will of the Father. When we walk daily with Mary's heart, We learn that peace begins not when everything is perfect, but when everything is placed in God's hands. To live with peace is to wake each morning and whisper, "Be it done unto me according to your word." It is to walk through your day, through work, family, responsibilities, and moments of silence, with a steady awareness that you are loved, guided, and held. Mary teaches us to bring prayer into the small moments, when we're washing dishes, waiting in traffic, or sitting in a doctor's office. She reminds us that every sigh can become a prayer. Every worry can become an offering. Every breath can become a reminder of God's nearness. To walk with her heart means to live gently, to see others with compassion, to forgive quickly, to listen deeply, and to love without fear. It means to carry peace where peace is missing, to be the quiet presence of mercy in a restless world. If we let her, Mary will shape our hearts to look like hers, open, humble, trusting. She doesn't just teach us to pray, she teaches us how to live as a prayer. So today, as you go about your life, pause for a moment and ask, am I walking with peace? If not, ask Mary to help you begin again. She understands the chaos of the human heart and knows how to calm it with grace. Try whispering the simple prayer during your day. Mary, Mother of Peace, walk with me through this day. When I grow impatient, teach me calm. When I grow afraid, remind me to trust. When I feel alone, help me remember your presence. Let your peace fill my thoughts, your gentleness shape my words, and your faith guide every step. You don't have to feel holy to pray that. You just need to be willing. Peace grows wherever a willing heart opens to grace. Living in peace also means choosing forgiveness, both for others and for yourself. It means letting go of the past that keeps you captive and opening your hands to receive what God wants to give next. Mary helps us do that. She whispers courage when we want to hold on and hope when we're ready to begin again. Her peace is not distant or unreachable. It is motherly, steady, and real. You can feel it in the stillness after prayer, in the strength to be kind when it's difficult, in the quiet trust that God is still working, even when you don't see how. When you walk daily with Mary's heart, peace slowly becomes the rhythm of your life. It settles into your home, softens your words, and steadies your spirit. It teaches you that God's presence isn't something to chase, it's something to dwell in. And as you live this way, one prayer, one act of love, one small surrender at a time, you will begin to notice something sacred. The world around you changes when the peace of God lives within you. So take her hand each morning. Walk with her through your day. Let her teach you the language of peace, the beauty of trust, the freedom of faith. And when the night comes, rest knowing that you are not alone. Mary's heart still beats beside yours, leading you always toward the everlasting peace found in her Son. As we come to the end of this prayerful journey, take a deep breath and let your soul rest. You've walked through moments of weariness, healing, surrender, and quiet strength. You've learned that peace isn't something far away. It's found here, in this very moment, when you open your heart to God through Mary's tender care. Mary does not keep us for herself. She always leads us to Jesus. Her arms are the safe place where our restless hearts can pause long enough to hear His voice again. She teaches us that no matter how broken or uncertain life becomes, peace is possible because peace is a person and His name is Jesus. If your heart is still heavy, if there are prayers yet unanswered or wounds not yet healed, do not be discouraged. Keep resting in her love. Keep praying. Mary's presence is gentle but powerful. Her intercession is faithful and unending. She will never tire of bringing your needs to her Son. Each time you turn to her, whether through the Rosary, a whispered Hail Mary, or a quiet glance toward heaven,
You are placing yourself once more in her motherly embrace, and in that embrace, God's grace begins to flow again. So, as you go forward from this moment, carry this peace with you. Let it shape the way you speak, love, forgive, and live. Be a vessel of that peace in your home, your family, your workplace, and your community. Let others see through you the calm that comes from a soul held close to Mary's heart. And tonight, when you close your eyes, whisper this final prayer. Mary, my mother, thank you for walking with me. Thank you for your quiet strength and tender love. Help me to live each day in the peace of your Son. When I am afraid, remind me of your care. When I am weary, draw me close again. Keep me always in your arms and lead me ever closer to Jesus. Amen. May the peace of Mary's loving arms wrap around your heart tonight, and may her Son's light shine gently within you, now and always.